Do you keep private things private?
I can't do it. No. No, that's not what you said.
What did I say? We'll show you how. I'll forget that I've got to sit up like a freak.
Don't say that. Just stop.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Adore Your Spouse When Marriages Get Happier. I was once working with a client who was having the husband was having a crisis of faith. And so this common foundation and this bond that they had was
religious bond
was deteriorating. And it was a central part of their lives, right? And so the wife freaked out. And when she freaked out, she did exactly what she shouldn't do. She went and started telling everybody about it. She told her family, she told her church leaders, and then what happened is then the husband found out that she told everybody, and he was mortified. And this is not the way to do it. The way to do it is the way that Audrey did it with regarding my addiction. She, when you're married to an addict, the weight is tremendous. I've been told that. And you just have this huge burden, and you want to let it. You want to tell somebody. But Audrey was a saint. She wouldn't tell anybody because she didn't want to darken, or that's not the word. You don't want to disparage my name and my reputation, right?
Yeah.
And she would always say, she's incredible. The whole thing, she's incredible. You're better than this, Blaine, and all that stuff. But the point is, one day she came to me. She says, "I can't handle this anymore. I've got to talk to somebody." That's the right way to do it.
The weight was just too heavy.
And so she said, "Who would you feel comfortable who could I talk to that you would be okay with?" Beautiful. And I told her, "Well, you talk to your mom," and she did. But that is the way to keep private things private.
It would just, when you were talking about your client, just reminded me of a friend who's had that same problem happen in her life, that her husband had a crisis of faith, and it's interesting because there was one mutual friend, and they had a discussion, and her husband was okay with the wife talking to this friend, and because the friend's husband was going through some of the same difficulties, and so it was the kind of situation where these two friends were going to talk and kind of give each other help and support, which was great, and he was okay with that. But then it was the friend that betrayed his confidence and told about her husband's issue to a whole bunch of mutual friends. So even then, but at least it wasn't the wife.
It wasn't hurting the marriage.
Exactly. In any type of relationship, it's so important to keep private things private, but especially in a marriage, your most intimate, your most interdependent relationship, the one that really, defines your life and your day-to-day. So important that that you can trust that what happens at home will stay at home, and that you will talk it through with them. And if you need help and support, you will go out and seek for it in healthy, appropriate ways.
Now, this is especially important with in-laws, especially with wives and their mothers. And the reason I say this is because so often they have a close bond and they communicate regularly, and then hubby has done something that was dumb, right?
I had a girlfriend did this exact thing.
The husband's stupid. He does something stupid, and so she runs and tells her mom.
Yeah.
And then the mom knows, and all of a sudden, her mom's view of her son-in-law is now tainted, right? And meanwhile, the husband and wife gone over here, and they fixed and resolved their problems.
That's exactly what happened.
And now the mother-in-law still's having struggle with her son-in-law because she knows something she should not have known in the first place.
She's really having a hard time forgiving when the wife has already forgiven and moved on. And sometimes, in instances like that, it can be easier for the wife because there's so many ways that the husband can give back and make reparation with the wife in so many ways to repair the relationship. It's much harder to do in an in-law relationship to really make reparation.
Well, she's not there to see all the little things that he does, all the acts of kindness and all the intentions and his facial expressions and all that stuff. I mean, you can't get it. So be really careful on that. So our challenge this week is think about your relationship, and if you've breached the trust, then you need to cut it off. You need to stop doing that. And if
you need to tell your spouse.
Yeah,
because you do not want them to hear it from somebody else. Because believe me, 99% of the time it's going to come around.
Yeah,
they're going to find out that you.
And I'm assuming you'd already known that. You've already breached it, and they've already known that, and that's where you've got to stop. And you can't do it again. And so the challenge is, if that comes up again, then you have to, the challenge is to shut your mouth. So just close your mouth and not say anything and not give into that temptation If it's something serious like my addiction, then that needs to be discussed and you can go out the proper ways. But other than that, you need to be really careful. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and tell others about it. And head over to adoreyourspouse.com where we have a bunch of free resources. You can take our assessment, you can take our free class and other things. And remember that you can have the happy marriage that you want. Because when we started talking, when I did the assessment, I met with them, it was clear that he had fallen out of love with his spouse. And I told him, we've got to take actions. He says, don't tell me that. I've heard that in church. That's what they always say, and I don't want to do that. I was like, dude, you've got to take loving actions to